just something small. I don't believe that there is someone who really hates the environment that much that they don't want to talk about it. It's just that the environment, how do I put it now? The context on how to put it out is not provided. So if stakeholders,
Yes.
And this one is very public, and anyone who is championing for environment, of course, all of us should be champions, but we have the people who are on the forefront. We can't, all of us can't be on the forefront. That's very, logically speaking, it can't happen that way. But if the stakeholders took it upon themselves and decided to push the agenda, it really will get to the bottom of everything. For example, if there is this national day for tree planting,
Yes.
what happens on that particular day? Because the government has said it's a national tree planting day, what do presenters do on different radios? Hello, shamba wa shamba, mambo vipi? Poa sana. Unapanda miti wapi leo? Napanda huku na huku na huku. Umepanda ngapi? It happens naturally.
Because it is a public holiday on that
It's
day.
a public holiday,
Yeah.
and it has been pushed
By the government.
Yes. So if stakeholders pushed this, and
But-
the government did this every day,
But on the same, do you think people really plant trees on that day, or even the cameras of these journalists?
Yeah.
Do you know they only focus to where the president and the PS and the cabinet secretary went, CS went to plant the trees?
yeah, because it's a matter of national interest.
Okay,
No,
now
no, the president attracts
Yeah,
a lot.
yes, exactly.
They should be focusing on the villagers.
Shamba.
Yes.
Logically speaking,
Yeah.
of course, we'll go where the president is.
No, I think I will go where the villagers are, so that I also promote them.
do they really plant?
It is only the president and the CS and
They'll plant one
some
tree.
government.
And then they say that 1,000 trees have been
Yeah,
planted.
yes.
By who? Where?
It is only the president and the CS I see them planting.
So who is at fault?
Okay,
Who's
now
at
let me
fault?
ask this question.
We have a part to blame. We as journalists. The camera should not focus on these leaders.
As a journalist,
Yes.
before you come to the studio, plant your own tree.
I will
Can
try
we-
to
can
plan
we-
it.
can-
Then when you reach here, tell us, I have planted a
Can we
tree.
do away with the blame game and make
Okay.
it a
No,
personal
we are not
responsibility?
actually, me, I'm not blaming.
Yeah?
I'm not blaming even the journalists anyway.
Yeah.
But before you come on that day, you can plant your own tree and say, okay, I've planted, not to ask people, have you planted a tree? I know journalists have a role to play, but like he said, us, himself is doing his job there. And he will only put, he can only put the adverts that are meant for that
Yes,
day and
yes.
for that program, you know.
Yes.
And then, but me, who is coming, what am I looking at? I would also say that maybe another way of putting it up, it is not for journalists, but for the administrators of the radios and TV televisions to say, on a Saturday, from this time to this time, we are talking about environment.
Yes.
To put that program, because you cannot get children's program, then you turn it into an environmental program. You cannot turn a time for Mars, that was Mars before now, and then you start talking about the environment. It won't work. Everything has to follow systematically. But now the government asks us to plant trees, and it gives us public holidays. And on those public holidays, I'm always happy because I'm not going to school that day, you know. But when I stay at home, do I plant that tree? And if I have planted it, do I follow it up to ensure that it is maturing and all that is happening? And if it is not, then what am I doing? And this government that has given us a public holiday, the president has planted one tree and publicized it. Even they might even make a magazine. You know, he planted a tree. The whole country must know that he planted a tree. The CES so and so has planted a tree, and then they go behind
Yes.
to the already planted trees. I will use the Oloroa forest. That's the one I know,
Yes.
because I have visited it and I've seen what is happening. They go to the Oloroa forest, they are grabbing the land. they are grabbing the trees that are there, selling them. Why not preserve the trees that are already there and plant to add? Why destroy the others and then claim to be good to plant more, of which the ones you have planted are not even visible? Me, I would say, protect what is there, stop cutting those trees, and then we see, as you plant these ones, they add to what is there. You understand?
Yes.
And then I come to you, Shamba wa Shamba. What role should governments play in combating climate change, and what actions do you believe they should take as a person?
Okay, as a person, I think the government should not be lenient on people who are breaking rules and regulations. For example, they should enforce strict regulations. Like if you are found outside there dropping something that is considered not worthy to be there, it is not supposed to be there, but you are putting it there, then they should fine you heavily. This one will at least help. It will help at least in curbing this, because now the environment will remain clean, and if it is cutting of trees, then people will even fear to cut trees. I remember in the village back home, there are trees you cannot touch. They will tell you, well, this one, the government must know. You must go and have a letter from the sub-chief or chief for you to cut this tree, because it has been there for all this period. And if you cut it, you are arrested for it. So I think if the government enforces these laws, then it will be good for people to know it is forbidden to do this and this. If we do it, we are in for it. And
so we are living in fear.
it is not fear.
Wait.
It is not
I'm
fear.
Still,
It is not fear.
Okay.
It is not fear that we fear to be arrested, but by the way, who wants to be arrested?
And that's
Nobody
why,
wants to be
if
arrested.
they say there is no arrest, you think those trees will be there?
And again, if they say there is no arrest, then the trees, even here in the city, they will not be there.
So it is us.
So at least we have failed to know our responsibility. We have failed to know our purpose here on earth. And because we have failed to know the purpose, that's why the government is now coming in with the restrictions.
So you are saying that the government is already doing something about it. So thanks to the government.
No, it might not be doing something.
Okay.
It might not be doing something. But this, according to me, what should the government do? It should enforce strict regulations to cover this.
Okay, thank you very much. And our dear listeners, our dear viewers, kindly do well to leave your comments or your question on our chat, or you can send it in a message on WhatsApp and on SMS to the numbers given. On YouTube, we are live, and it is Youth Zone with Sister Aurelia. Kindly stay with us.
And maybe, sister, before you go to the next thing.
Yes.
Maybe I would also say that apart from these environmental regulations, the government should also fund anybody that talks about environment and the conservation of this environment. For example, Radio Maria is here. And
They should fund Radio Maria.
We began by saying that I think the government should listen to this and say at least Radio Maria, let's give you something
at
for
least
you to
100,000
not even 100. We don't need 100. Just these millions they are splashing outside there. Why should they not direct it here so that we talk about environment?
Okay.
I'm even ready to leave the microphone and go down there and talk to people outside there about the environment. You are here. You have written a book about environment. You can even go to the street there and talk about the same book. Mtoto akifalme is here. He can even put music here and go outside there and talk to people to the street there about the environment and why we should keep Nairobi clean. I see just the governor struggling how to keep Nairobi clean. Come to Radio Maria, talk to these people. They will help you because now we are doing it for free here now. You see, we are just doing it for free. Okay. But now if we went to the street, I think the government should help us go to the street and enlighten these people about environment.
Okay, thank you so much, Shamba wa Shamba. And about all these things, maneno, your environment, the government, they have tried something, at least they give us public holidays to go and sleep kidogo and plant one tree. Do you think the current political climate in our country, Kenya, or even globally in my country, Uganda, is effective in tackling climate change. That idea of them giving us, let me say, okay, giving us public holidays to plant trees, taking pictures, sorry, that one I said on a low key, and cleaning the city. Do you think it is tackling effective, it is effectively tackling climate change?
Looking at Kenya as it is, I think something's happening in this country. Remember, there is this holiday of planting trees. It used not to be there. The rule was just like you cut one, you plant two. You in Uganda, you plant 5 in your compound.
Yes,
anyway.
in my village.
In your village, you plant 5. But here we normally plant. Me, I cut one.
You plant.
Then I plant 2 or more, but we just say 2. And I think it is happening now. Something the government is doing something by declaring this day one special day, of which, sister, to confess here in Radio Maria, I think in my village we have this holiday is just for sleeping.
Did I not say it? Me, I sleep
No,
that
no,
day.
no, it is for sleeping. By the way, people do not plant these trees because the government says it is a holiday and they don't provide the seedlings.
So how best do you think they can do? Provide the
They
seedlings
should
for
provide
you?
the seedlings.
And you
in the
think the
village.
seedlings can be provided to each and every household?
Not households. People should register. If you
Those
register,
who want.
yes, they come
Okay.
for you.
I
People
think
should
those
register.
registrations go on because I have received some trees for some
Maybe here in
schools
Nairobi, you are lucky.
Yeah.
But in the village there is nothing. I'm telling you that day is for sleeping.
for sleeping. Another thing I would think that if such a day comes, there are some strategic places that, like schools, churches, we know these ones, maybe they have a land where they can put like a small forest or 1 or 2 trees, and then they have their teachers, and then they have their students. If they say we have trees here, each student is taking a seedling to plant at home.
Yes.
Each teacher must plant a tree at home,
Yes.
and then it is shared. Even if the child is sleeping at home, but she has planted that tree,
It
it
used to
can be
happen.
more effective.
It used to happen when I was still in primary school.
Primary school, how many years ago?
Hey, sister. So
Yes, now let's leave that.
It used to happen, but nowadays I don't see it because
Okay.
they used to bring trees. Then even when I was in Malindi with Father Peter Ndegwa in Malindi, Marafa, I saw him distributing trees. I don't know where he got them from, but he was giving small kids those for catechism. They used to come for teachings. Then in the evening he gives them trees. Everybody one to get to plant at home. So I don't know where he got. I don't know if he got the trees from the government.
Some
or
people
he
take
got-
from their pockets. Some people have their own seedlings. Actually, in this video, in this program, I want to send special greetings to Mr. Ngugi in Thika.
Yes.
This man just mention the number of trees you want, and he makes sure he plants them with you
Oh.
to teach you how to plant so that you will not mess it up. Because as you are messing up his money, which he has used to purchase these trees. He makes sure you dig the hole and he will plant it with you. I did that activity with him some time ago in Thika, and we went to different schools. He told me, mention the schools and the number of trees you want to give. And we did that. We planted those trees, and the trees are flourishing. The teachers are calling me, sister, we have started eating your fruits. And I'm happy. So I wish to thank Mr. Ngugi for the good job, and I pray that God will bless your generosity. And I know that we are kind of a little bit winding up to go to close and go for prayers. We go for divine mercy, after which we shall come back and continue with our program. But before we go, I just want to have just a small question to my friend Shamba Washamba. I know you are very good at technology. You are doing social communication. Do you think technology will play a crucial role in solving the climate crisis?
It will, and it is.
How?
As we are sitting here. So we are talking about environment.
Yes.
There are so many people, Catholics, within Nairobi and Kericho, who are listening to us. There are some in Spain who listen to us. I see their messages always talking about Radio Maria. I think technology advancement will change everything. It can really change everything if it is used properly. Like, for example, the youth used to meet here in town. They are called Gen Z, the Gen Zs.
Gen Zs and Alphas.
They used to meet here for demonstrations every Tuesday, I don't know when. And you know, they were using technology to communicate. Even the government was even...
They didn't know how
they
the
didn't know
message
how,
was circulated.
because they say we are meeting at 10, the police come at 10, there is nobody. But at 10:05, they are there. They have already communicated. And then they said we are headless and we are, I don't know, faceless, I don't know what. It is because of technology. So if we used that technology to communicate about the effects of environment, if we use that technology to even start doing things that cannot harm the environment, using that technology to create things that cannot harm the environment, then technology will take us somewhere.
So all thanks to technology for now.
Yes.
And as we are coming back, before we go, first of all, what I would say about technology, I know a lot is happening, and the current generation, the one we are singing of mostly is Gen Zs and Gen Alphas. And there is a new generation that is coming, which is Generation Beta. We'll call it Gen B, that is born this year till 2035.
Yes.
And from the anticipation and the future that we look at, we see that this generation, they are going to be very good environmental activists because they are born in it.
Yes.
This is something that is coming up, and they are born into the system, and they will do. And technology has helped in a way that if we look at, okay, let's take an example. If you come to school, how many people are using books?
Few people.
Very few people are using
Few
books.
people nowadays.
Now everybody has a laptop.
Yes.
Instead,
Phone.
people used to choose to use their phones.
Yes.
At least that will reduce the cutting down of trees.
Yes, you're very right.
To produce the papers and all that, and also discarding the papers somehow.
Yes.
And you talked something about the government putting up policies, and strict rules. In East Africa, it is happening in one country. At least we can talk of Rwanda. We
Yes,
know
Rwanda
that
is
we
green.
don't.
Rwanda is green.
Yes.
That's why we
And
should
even
visit
when you are
Rwanda.
crossing Rwanda border, they make sure they check every bit of you and ensure that if there is a waterproof in your bag, you have to remove the things and pack that product into something else. Maybe an envelope, or put it in your clothes, but you cannot enter with that
Rwanda in
paper bag.
Africa?
I don't know.
No,
So-
is it in Africa? First of all, because I don't want you to bring here countries that are advanced.
Rwanda is in East Africa,
It is in East
close
Africa.
to Uganda.
Oh.
You take a bus from Nairobi to Rwanda.
Oh, I should visit Rwanda now.
It is very neat, and they have that policy is working very well. But why is it failing in our own countries? Why is it failing in Uganda? Why is it failing in Kenya?
In Kenya, there is a moment they said they don't use plastic.
They don't use plastics,
nowadays I
but
see them.
they are more than the
I see them.
people.
I see
Plastics
them
are more
nowadays.
than the number of people in
I see
Nairobi.
them even here in town. I see them in shops.
What they ban, at least you hardly go to the market and get a plastic bag.
Mhm.
Those who are
But-
having
but we
them
can-
are
we can have them.
smuggling them in.
Yes, we can have them.
You can have them.
Yes.
But hardly, at least. But there are certain things, bread is in the waterproof. I call them waterproofs. Sweets are still there. There are something, bread in Rwanda is not in the waterproof. It is packed differently.
Mhm.
Yeah, like, there are other means through which we can pack these things.
What we should be asking, sister, what did Rwanda do that we are not doing?
If you ask my people, they will tell you that Rwandan president is a dictator. But me, I support him 100%.
So when you are doing good, you become a dictator.
You become a dictator.
Okay.
I support him 100% in his dictatorship because he has put change and it is visible.
Yes.
That is my own. The rest
Yes.
can go to hell. Regarding environment, it is my responsibility.
Yes.
It is your responsibility.
Yes.
It is the government's responsibility. If you wait for Sakaja to come and clean your place of work, where you have scattered the waterproofs, my dear brother, my dear sister, you are lying to yourself.
Mm.
When Sakaja sends his men to come and clean everywhere, now we are praising Nairobi.
Yes.
Why are they putting those things?
No, I don't know where they are taking that. Now that is another thing. We should investigate that. I think I should now investigate that. Where are they taking this?
You're asking me also. I'm not in Sakaja's team.
Let it be
Now,
a question.
the probability is that these things, of course, the vehicle will come, they will put. I heard that Dandora is the main place, where they are put. And anyway, we will talk more when we come. There is a group of youth that I applaud very, very well in Kibera. I'm going to talk about them when we come back here. They are doing a very good job in terms of preserving the environment. And I really thank them for whatever they are doing. And we need to look at, when they are taken to Dandora, what about Dandora? What next? What will happen tomorrow with
We
Dandora?
don't know. We don't know what will happen.
Okay, our dear listeners, our dear viewers, you can put it down in the comment section and tell us what happens in Dandora. Me, I'm hearing that they are thrown in Dandora. I'm already afraid. I cannot. It will be hard for me to go there to see what is happening because I'll be afraid of the kind of image I'll get. Thank you so much for listening. Let's go to prepare for our Divine Mercy, after which we shall be coming back at 3:15 to conclude our program. Stay tuned.